The mysterious deaths of three men who went to watch a football game and never came home.
Their bodies outside frozen after going to a football watch party.
Sunday nights in Kansas City usually mean football, friends, and celebration. But one night in January 2024, a simple Chiefs watch party turned into a tragedy that shocked the nation. Three friends, fathers, brothers, sons, gathered to enjoy the game. By the time anyone checked on them, their bodies were frozen outside in the backyard. And now, two men stand accused of felony murder. This is the story of how a night meant for cheering on the Kansas City Chiefs spiraled into heartbreak, a murder trial, and a chilling reminder of the deadly fentanyl crisis. Willis was a lab scientist, a man who friends described as intelligent and quiet. His rental home wasn't far from where the Chiefs were playing that night. Inside, the group gathered for food, drinks, and to watch the game. At first, everything seemed normal. They cheered, they laughed. The Kansas City Chiefs were doing what they do best, lighting up the scoreboard. But beneath the surface, the night was about to take a devastating turn. By the next day, none of the three men had returned calls or texts. Friends assumed maybe they'd been out late, but by January 9th, more than 48 hours later, families were panicking. Clayton McGeeney's fiancée was especially worried. She hadn't heard from him at all, and his truck was still parked outside Willis's house. This wasn't like him, so she drove over to the house herself. She knocked, no answer. She called his name, nothing. Terrified, she broke a basement window to get inside. What she saw next would haunt her forever. On the back patio, she found a man's body frozen in the cold. She immediately called police. When officers arrived, they searched the property. The chilling scene grew even darker. One man's body was slumped on the back porch. Another was laying lifeless in the yard. A third was nearby, also dead. Three close friends gone, frozen in the Kansas City winter. The fiancé's desperate act of checking on her loved one had uncovered a tragedy no one was prepared for. Before diving into the investigation, it's important to remember who these men were. They weren't just Chiefs fans or statistics in the drug epidemic. They were people with families, friends, and futures. Rick Johnson, 38, was described as a devoted father and someone who loved sports and spending time with his kids. His family said he always had a smile and was the kind of guy you could count on. David Harrington, 37, was a father of three. He was remembered as hardworking, loyal, and deeply connected to his community. His brother later spoke out, demanding answers and justice for the deaths. Clayton McGeeney, 36, was engaged to be married. His fiancée was the one who found the bodies, a discovery that no one should ever have to make. Three men who had gone to watch a football game. Three families left shattered. The autopsies provided grim clarity. All three men died from toxic effects of fentanyl and cocaine. This wasn't just alcohol or a simple overdose gone wrong. This was fentanyl, the synthetic opioid 50 times stronger than heroin that has been sweeping across America and killing tens of thousands each year. And here it was, inside a suburban Kansas City home, silently claiming 3 lives in one night. Police quickly turned their attention to the host of the party, Jordan Willis, and a man with a dangerous reputation, Ivory Blade Carson. Witnesses told investigators that Willis had provided a plate of cocaine to the group that night. One described seeing half an ounce to an ounce of cocaine being used. Carson, known as Blade, was already on law enforcement's radar as a supplier. According to investigators, Carson was the source of the cocaine, and his DNA was found on the fentanyl-laced drugs inside Willis's home. Search warrants uncovered more. Willis's DNA on cocaine evidence, Carson's DNA on fentanyl, and enough narcotics to confirm this wasn't a one-off accident. In March 2025, prosecutors filed charges against both Willis and Carson. Initially, they faced involuntary manslaughter and drug distribution charges. Both pleaded not guilty, posting a $100,000 bond. But by June 2025, the case escalated. Prosecutors applied Missouri's felony murder statute. Under this law, If someone dies during the commission of a felony, even if you didn't intend to kill, you can still be charged with murder. So both men now face second-degree felony murder. For Willis, the charge means prosecutors believe he directly provided cocaine that killed his friends. For Carson, the supplier, the state argues he put the poison into the chain of distribution. Jordan Willis's lawyer insisted his client is not guilty. Attorney John Paserno told reporters that Willis thought his friends left the house safely. He claims Willis had no idea there were bodies frozen on the porch for 2 days. But for families of the victims, it's hard to believe. David Harrington's brother openly questioned, "How do you not notice 3 bodies in your own backyard?" It's a haunting question that has fueled anger, distrust, and calls for accountability. For the families, the pain goes beyond legal definitions. They lost sons, brothers, fathers, and partners. Clayton McGeeney's fiancée lives with the trauma of breaking into a house only to find her loved ones dead. Ricky Johnson's children now grow up without a father. David Harrington's kids will never see him again. To them, this isn't just about drug laws. It's about betrayal. A night of friendship turned into death, and the host of the party is now at the center of it. What makes this case resonate far beyond Kansas City is the way it highlights the fentanyl crisis in America. These weren't hardened drug users. They were 3 ordinary men at a football watch party. And yet, fentanyl still found its way into the room, laced into cocaine, and killed them almost instantly. Fentanyl doesn't discriminate. It kills celebrities, suburban parents, college students, and football fans. And now, prosecutors are testing how far the law can go to punish these responsible for supplying it. Both Jordan Willis and Ivory Blade Carson are set to face trial. Prosecutors will argue the case is straightforward. Their actions caused 3 deaths, and under the law, that means murder. Defense attorneys will push back, insisting there was no intent to kill, and that Willis in particular is being unfairly scapegoated. The outcome will depend on how a jury determines Missouri's felony murder statute, and whether they believe Willis truly had no idea 3 bodies lay just outside his door. This tragedy has become a flashpoint in the national conversation. Should drug suppliers, big or small, face murder charges when fentanyl kills? Or is this stretching the law too far? For grieving families, the answer is clear. Someone must be held accountable. For defense lawyers, the case is a dangerous precedent. But for the rest of us, it's a stark reminder. Fentanyl is everywhere, and its reach is wider than many want to admit. 3 friends walk into a house to watch football. They never walk out. Their families are left with grief, their community with outrage, and 2 men with the fight of their lives in court. This wasn't supposed to happen at a watch party. It wasn't supposed to happen in Kansas City, but fentanyl doesn't care about supposed to. So the next time you hear about fentanyl epidemic, remember Ricky Johnson, remember David Harrington, remember Clayton McGeeney, because behind every headline are real people whose lives are cut short and families who will never stop asking. If you want justice for victims like Ricky, David, and Clayton, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Tell us in the comments, do you think prosecutors are right to charge this as murder, or does this cross the line?